Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Nicole here from My Pretty Charmed Life. In today's video, as you can see, I am going to go over how I store my jewelry. I did a little bit, well, I made a reel on my own play trays, and then I did a little stories on my stackers, and I got a ton of questions. So I actually made a little update since then. We are just going to go over how I store my collection. This is the majority of the collection. I have a couple other things that are like not that organized and are in another area, but for the most part, you'll get a really good idea of what I do to keep everything as organized as possible when, you're a collector and therefore have a ton of stuff to keep track of. Right, the first thing that we're gonna go over is this stack of stackers right here. This has 4 stacks on it, and of course the top one has a lid. So let's just go ahead and dive right into this. So here it's kind of like a mishmash of stuff. As you can see, I have a little bit of X jewelry here. I'm just newly collecting these. They had like a mask chain on Morris, so I bought like a really long mask chain that I then just turned into a bracelet. But yeah, here's X jewelry. And here I also have some rods that have pre-made designs, and they're designs that I don't really want to like lose. So right here we have a little mermaid design that has a little bit of Pandora and the Art Oblivion in here. And then this is like a friendship theme that I have going on. A lot of my mini designs are the easier ones to kind of take apart and redesign. So I have these on here. And then, oh, I have gold. So this is part of my 14 karat gold that is not on a bracelet. This should be on a bracelet. I actually have no reason why it's in here. Oops, these are loose beads that need to get put in their home. I'm gonna put them in here so I don't forget. We have Essence in here. So I have a lot of my Essence bracelets. I only have a few actually. I have Essence earrings and some loose pieces of Essence. They're kind of hard to store just because they don't, fit on any of the rods. I actually have Essence in here too. And then we have Reflections for the most part stored in here. Oh, look, this should be on this side. And then this one, I actually need to get a proper storage for it. It is the multi-strand bracelet, but for now it's in here. We have loose troll beads right here. I just started or just got my first spirit beads, so I have that on a little rod here as well. That can only actually probably get put in one of those when we go over the own play trays. And then this little rod are just charms that I think I want to sell, have put up for sale, and they're just kind of sitting here. So mostly because I have duplicates, and yeah, but too lazy to actually do anything with that. And then on this rod right here, we have a lot of stuff that has Pandora Rose, and they're extra beads that I design with, but I don't want to necessarily put them in an anti-tarnish thing, so it is in here. I have Pandora Rose and Shine rings over here, non-Pandora rings, my Rebecca Hook, Disney. Emily at Fashion Storyteller had reviewed a ring brand. Now I forget what it is, but I absolutely love this ring from them. Oh, and then this, right after high school, I went on a little European tour, and we ended with a Greek cruise, and I bought this somewhere in Greece. I don't remember where, but super meaningful. This isn't supposed to be a collection review, but I just thought I'd point those items out. I haven't been wearing Pandora Rose because of all the sanitizing that we've been doing, so I'm mostly sticking to silver rings lately. Here's a bunch of my silver rings. We've got some pendants and earrings sets in here. So the Light is a Feather sets, a Shine O pendant, extra loose beads. Again, I'm not like the most organized, so I'm not like super good at putting things away as soon as I'm done, but this is my top layer. Moving on to the second layer, I also have kind of a mishmash of stuff here. So I have my James Avery bracelet stored here. I have a few Kendra Scott pieces, so those are kind of scattered throughout this section too. Tiffany's, I have one Tiffany bracelet and one Tiffany necklace, so that is in here. I don't know why my class ring is in here, but it is. This is, oh, I love this. This is the, shoot, I forget who it's from. It's Moon something, but this was gifted to me by a dear friend, and it is Presley's. It's the moon on Presley's birthday. So cool. And it glows in the dark. It's awesome. I have some Ohm necklaces, Pandora stuff, O pendants, bracelets, Pandora me. Mostly just a variety of different things that aren't traditional, like charm bracelets. So mostly necklaces, chokers, pendants. I do have, as you can see in here, I like to keep my Ohm clips, stoppers, whatever that might be in here, just so I don't lose them and it's easy access. Some more orphan beads, Art Oblivion, pendants, bracelets. Oh, my Pandora me pin, whatever that was called. That is second layer. This is where it starts getting really fun. So this is where we start getting the, again, not traditional charm bracelets, but this is all Pandora. Unless I have like a mixed design, you'll see some of that. But the base bracelets here are definitely Pandora. And here are all my leathers. All of them are in this section. So if I know if I want to wear something leather, come here. These are my bangle sections. Most of these are plain because Pandora bangles for me don't fit awesome. The small one is like good, but I can't put any charms on it. The medium one is really big, so I end up putting a lot of charms on it and it's just still not comfortable. For the most part, I buy small and I don't put any charms on them. This is the section that has like bangles that you can't put charms on. So these are just non-charm bracelets that are still Pandora. Here in this middle section is all the open bangles that I have from Pandora. We'll see that here. Well, this has open bangles too, except these have like either shine or Pandora rose on them, and so I don't want them near a anti-tarnish strip, so they're in a separate section here. Here I have my padlock bracelets. So just another place to organize those. And I just recently put these in an anti-tarnish bag. They are the mesh bangles. I wish I would have put them in one of these before, because I do find that the mesh bangles color does change and they're hard to clean, I think just because of the texture. So let's see if they keep better in here. I just almost had a spoiler alert. Bead mill number 3 was hanging out right there, but I edited it out if it showed. I have no idea if it showed, I just saw it. Okay, so here we have my Ohm beads bangles. So I have like the dirty twisted, the regular twisted, there's a plain bangle, and then my latest obsession, which is their C bangles. Absolutely love these for sure. And then over here, this is like my Ohm beads pride and joy right now, the big Luna. I'm using it as a pendant right now. And then I have some of their chain bracelets here, and all of their leathers are kind of nicely put here. If you saw my stories, they were kind of thrown all over the place, but I have them stored more carefully in this corner. This section is mostly Alex and Ani, but there's like a couple off-brand things that kind of have the same feel as Alex and Ani. This section definitely mostly mixed. I have like an Aurora section. This is Genos, not Aurora. There's Ogre in here, and then I have Ogres. They're not even snake chains, they're beautiful chains. I have Ogre bracelets here. I love to design with ogre bracelets. I'm actually wearing it right now. They're easy to design with, actually. And then I recently started collecting loci bracelets. So I have one of their like traditional silicone ones, and then I'm obsessed with their gemstone ones. So I pretty much got all their gemstone ones. They didn't have turquoise, they're out of stock, but that's that. Over here is kind of, I don't know, more like the costume jewelry type, I guess. Things that I've made from Bauble Bar. If you saw the Crystal Secrets that Presley and I were playing with, she's giving me all her duplicates. I have an Art Oblivion bracelet here. These are like natural stone bracelets that mostly have come from Stephanie at Orchestra. She sells crystals, and a couple I've made myself in here, like my labradorite. And then a troll beads section. And in the pouches of troll beads, I have like my necklaces from them. So like here. And that is essentially what these 4 stacks do. Is this gets really heavy, as you know. Silver is really heavy. So here's that. We will move on to the next one, which is really fun. It's the charm bracelets. Okay, so here is like what I've done a little bit differently. And one, I do wish that I had another lid. They just didn't, when I went to the store, they didn't have that lid in this color, and I don't really want to mix colors for some reason, so I bought their acrylic lid for now. But ideally I would want to get a duplicate of that because I don't have enough space for my rings, and that has like a lot of good ring storage. But for now, this is what we're doing. So we've got this see-through acrylic glass, and in here I have most of my charm bracelets, and it is just rows and rows and rows of charm bracelets. And if you follow me, you know that for the most part I have themed bracelets. So I totally stole the labeling idea from Angie at Daily Charm Addict on Instagram, and she labels her stuff and it is so genius. So here I decided to label like what the bracelet is. So here's a Starry Night clasp in a size 18, and the theme is It's Written in the Stars. So this allows me to kind of quickly go through and see what is it exactly that I want to wear that day. I previously had them in the white pouches from Pandora, which I do still have more of those. You'll see that in the next section. But I do find that these anti-tarnish bags from Amazon are really good because, one, I personally think that it keeps them less tarnished. I find them more effective than the pouches. And so I've moved majority of my bracelets to this system. They're really cheap. I think it's like $6.99 for 10 of these bags. And I love that they're kind of see-through. So I will include a link in the description below to my Amazon store where you can see all my favorite things that I like to buy to take care of my jewelry. And these anti-tarnish bags are definitely in that section. So be sure to check that out. But yeah, it is, gosh, some of these have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers deep, I think, on most of these. So it is a lot to manage. But yeah, over here on this side I have in the corner just some like easy to redesign bracelets that aren't necessarily dedicated themes. And that's this section. This is the heaviest one of all, as you can imagine. So here we have different pouches, and you might be like, well, why are there different pouches? So before Pandora, when Pandora had their original cleaning kit, they came with, it's not the original. When I started collecting, it was the original cleaning kit. I started collecting way late. So you got a cleaning kit that had this black pouch and this white pouch. And it was very specific that Pandora Rose was to be stored in here, and the regular Pandora was to be stored in here. And I believe this has some sort of anti-tarnishing system to it, and this didn't. So it kept your Pandora rose from turning as quickly. I don't know what is the proper way to store Pandora rose or shine anymore. I am hesitant to put them in these bags because they're for sure anti-tarnish bags, and I don't want to ruin them. So that is why I have some of these white pouches still. I don't even know if these white pouches are good for Pandora rose or shine. I assume they are, otherwise Pandora wouldn't give them. So I am using these newer white ones for things that have shine and Pandora rose on it too. I was like doubling up on these ones, but I just didn't have, I mean, that's too many. Like I don't want that many bracelets next to each other. So I'm gonna take a chance and use those white pouches. But basically, these are letting me know if it has Pandora Rose or Pandora Shine. These are actually just silver bracelets, but these pouches are really good too, and I didn't want to not use them, so they're in here. So this is definitely a smaller section, easier to find, but as you can see, like, okay, I know that this is the, you know, Disney princess one, but it would be a lot nicer if I could see through it, but it's okay. I like these pouches as well too. So this is how I store my main charm bracelets. We have them labeled, we have them stacked, we have them in anti-tarnish bags. I'm doing everything I possibly can to keep these like in really good condition, because I don't know, if you don't take care of them and they're in a place that's not really that safe, they can tarnish really, really bad. So this is my system. I'm sure there's a ton of storage systems out there that might be better, but this is what I have found works for me so far. Okay, the next thing we're gonna cover is how I store my loose orphan unused charms. And I have 3 different ohm play trays that we're gonna go over. And again, because I have 4, I'm like, what is in here? I do have a tiny little label on the bottom. That's my cheat sheet, so I don't have to open them all the time to tell me what is in here. So here we have Pandora, as you saw on the label. This is, again, an ohm play tray. This pouch that you're seeing is an anti-tarnish pouch, so it's to help reduce the tarnish. Let me zoom out a little bit real quick. Hopefully we can get a better view. So they do have like a pretty snug fit, and here we go. We have this play tray that has, I love this section right here because it's really good for like designing. But then I just have my Pandora on these rods. It comes with 6, so it's like a lot of storage. And I try to organize a little bit. So we have my Pandora glass up here. We have some clips, some spacers, and then I think from there it gets pretty random. Oh, this bar is definitely Disney, and then again more random and more random. This is helpful for storage. It's all in one place. You can easily go to it if you want to create a new design, and you have a little play area too. And let me skip opening up all these other bags and I'll show you what's in there. Okay, so as you can see, they come in fun different colors. I want to eventually get one of each, you know, as my collection continues to grow. But in this one, we have a variety of brands. So these first 2 rods are elf beads. This rod is Aurora. This is Ogre. Then we're back to elf beads. Oh, and then there's little elf petites because they're too small to fit on the rod. So I had an old Pandora jewelry box rods that this worked perfectly for. And then this one, I don't know. These are charmed moments. They don't even exist anymore, so that rod is never gonna grow. But here is some mixed brands. Most of these brands are available from Beads Candy Shop, so I call it like my Beads Candy Shop tray. But I think eventually I'm gonna need an elf beads dedicated one because I'm obsessed. And then here we have ohm bead silvers. So I have all my silvers on all of these bars, and then I have a mini design I'm working on down here. I have my clasps in here that I feel like I should maybe put in, you know, one of those other stackers. The panorama beads are in here as well. So this is my ohm bead silver play tray. And then last but not least, oh, I just have extra bars hanging around all the time from other jewelry boxes. This is the glass beads from Ohm Beads. I try to get this like color coordinated or something like that, but it just always comes apart just depending on what I'm designing with. So it's just all mixed together. Yeah, so here's the last Ohm Beads play tray. So there you go. Here is an overview. This is like the longest overview ever of how I store my collection. Let me know in the comments what you think. Was any of this information helpful? Do you have a fun storage system? If so, I'd love to hear about it. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in my next video.